It is very easy to recognize the beauty in God's creation when we're surrounded by the trees, the breeze, the sound of the birds, even the rain and the wind in the branches, and the farmer on his combine harvester in the distance behind me. It is very easy to recognize the beauty in God's creativity when we're surrounded by these natural things. Even these things which are temporary, these things which will die, that will decompose. There is a beauty here. But we mustn't remain simply in seeing the beauty that is so limited and temporary. We must allow this beauty to bring us to mind of the eternal beauty of God's kingdom, to look beyond these temporary things, to the kingdom so full of beauty and joy that we cannot even comprehend it, that words cannot capture it. In the life of St. Paisius, there is a story where he was visited by a martyr. Saint visited him and told him that the joy and the beauty of God's kingdom is such that if we knew it, we would suffer martyrdom continuously for 1,000 years, for it would seem as nothing compared with the beauty of God's kingdom. This brief time on earth has one purpose, and that is to prepare the soul to live eternally in God's kingdom. To prepare the soul. This is our calling, and if we die and are laid in the grave as the richest man on earth or the most successful man in worldly terms, but have not prepared the soul for God's kingdom, then we have wasted this life. We have wasted the opportunity that God has given us. For this opportunity is now, as we breathe, as we live, to prepare the soul for God's kingdom. Who amongst us, if the body grew sick, would not seek out the appropriate remedy, or who doesn't even notice the pains and the sicknesses when they come? Who doesn't try to give the body good nourishment to keep it from wasting away or growing sick? And yet, the soul is worth so much more than the body, and how neglectful we can be of what is eternal. For this body will die. It will be raised on the day of judgment, as all of us will be raised. But for now, this body will die, and it is the soul that we must look to, we must care for. Jesus tells us through the words of St. Paul in his first letter to St. Timothy, we must lay hold of eternal life. Let us hear Christ's message in the words of St. Paul. Lay hold of eternal life. Not to be passive, not to sit back and imagine that it's job done, but to strive, to struggle, to work. This is what Christ calls us to. This is what St. Paul reminds us of. We who long to live in God's eternal kingdom must do more for the soul than we even do for the body. We must enter the struggle to purify our inner life. This is our calling, to purify our inner life.